أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful.
اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون.
Nigh unto men has drawn their reckoning, yet they turn away in heedlessness.
ما يأتيهم من ذكر من ربهم محدث إلا استمعوه وهم يلعبون.
There comes not to them any new admonition from their Lord, but they listen to it while they make sport of it.
لاهية قلوبهم وأسروا النجوى الذين ظلموا هل هذا إلا بشر مثلكم أفتأتون السحر وأنتم تبصرون.
And their hearts are forgetful, and they, the wrongdoers, confer together in secret and say, Is this man aught but a mortal like yourselves? Will you then yield to his sorcery with your eyes open?
قال ربي يعلم القول في السماء والأرض وهو السميع العليم.
In reply to this, the Prophet said, My Lord knows what is said in the heaven and the earth, and He is the all-hearing, the all-knowing.
بل قالوا أضغاث أحلام بل افتراه بل هو شاعر فليأتنا بآية كما أرسل الأولون.
Nay, they say, These are but confused dreams. Nay, he has forged it himself. Nay, he is but a poet. Let him then bring us a sign, just as the former prophets were sent with signs.
ما آمنت قبلهم من قرية أهلكناها أفهم يؤمنون.
No township before them, which we destroyed, ever believed. Would they then believe?
وما أرسلنا قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.
And we sent none as messengers before thee, but men, to whom we sent revelations. So ask the people of the reminder, if you know not.
وما جعلناهم جسدا لا يأكلون الطعام وما كانوا خالدين.
Nor did we give them bodies that ate not food, neither were they to live forever.
ثم صدقناهم الوعد فأنجيناهم ومن نشاء وأهلكنا المسرفين.
Then we fulfilled to them our promise, and we saved them and those whom we pleased, and we destroyed the transgressors.
لقد أنزلنا إليكم كتابا فيه ذكركم أفلا تعقلون.
We have now sent down to you a book which makes provision for your eminence. Will you not then understand?
وكم قصمنا من قرية كانت ظالمة وأنشأنا بعدها قوما آخرين.
And how many a township that acted wrongfully have we utterly destroyed, and raised up after it another people.
فلما أحسوا بأسنا إذا هم منها يركضون.
And when they perceived our punishment, lo, they began to flee from it.
لا تركضوا وارجعوا إلى ما أترفتم فيه ومساكنكم لعلكم تسألون.
Thereupon we said, Flee not, but return to the luxuries in which you exulted, and to your dwellings, that you might be questioned about your conduct.
قالوا يا ويلنا إنا كنا ظالمين.
They said, Alas for us, we were indeed wrongdoers.
فما زالت تلك دعواهم حتى جعلناهم حصيدا خامدين.
And this ceased not to be their cry, till we made them like a mown-down field, extinct.
وما خلقنا السماء والأرض وما بينهما لاعبين.
And we created not the heaven and the earth, and all that is between the two, in sport.
لو أردنا أن نتخذ لهوا لاتخذناه من لدنا إن كنا فاعلين.
Had we wished to find a pastime, we would surely have found it in what is with us, if at all we were to do such a thing.
بل نقذف بالحق على الباطل فيدمغه فإذا هو زاهق ولكم الويل مما تصفون.
Nay, we hurl the truth at falsehood, and it breaks its head, and lo, it perishes. And woe to you for that which you ascribe to Allah.
وله من في السماوات والأرض ومن عنده لا يستكبرون عن عبادته ولا يستحسرون.
To him belongs whosoever is in the heavens and the earth, and those who are in his presence do not disdain to worship him, nor do they weary of it.
يسبحون الليل والنهار لا يفترون.
They glorify him night and day, and they flag not.
أم اتخذوا آلهة من الأرض هم ينشرون.
Have they taken gods from the earth who raise the dead?
لو كان فيهما آلهة إلا الله لفسدتا فسبحان الله رب العرش عما يصفون.
If there had been in the heavens and the earth other gods beside Allah, then surely both would have gone to ruin. Glorified then be Allah, the Lord of the throne, far above what they attribute to him.
لا يسأل عما يفعل وهم يسألون.
He cannot be questioned as to what he does, but they will be questioned.
أم اتخذوا من دونه آلهة قل هاتوا برهانكم هذا ذكر من معي وذكر من قبلي بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون الحق فهم معرضون.
Have they taken gods beside him? Say, bring forth your proof. This Qur'an is a source of honor for those with me, and a source of honor for those before me. Nay, most of them know not the truth, and so they turn away.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك من رسول إلا نوحي إليه أنه لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدون.
And we sent no messenger before thee, but we revealed to him, there is no God but I, so worship me alone.
وقالوا اتخذ الرحمن ولدا سبحانه بل عباد مكرمون.
And they say, the gracious God has taken to himself a son. Holy is he. Nay, those whom they so designate are only his honored servants.
لا يسبقونه بالقول وهم بأمره يعملون.
They speak not before he speaks, and they only carry out his commands.
يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يشفعون إلا لمن ارتضى. لا يشفعون إلا لمن ارتضى وهم من خشيته مشفقون.
He knows what is before them and what is behind them, and they intercede not, except for him whom he approves it, and they tremble in awe of him.
ومن يقل منهم إني إله من دونه فذلك نجزيه جهنم كذلك نجزي الظالمين.
And whosoever of them should say, I am a god beside him, him shall we requite with hell. Thus do we requite the wrongdoers.
أولم ير الذين كفروا أن السماوات والأرض كانتا رتقا ففتقناهما وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي أفلا يؤمنون.
Do not the disbelievers see that the heavens and the earth were a closed-up mass? Then we opened them out. And we made of water every living thing. Will they not then believe?
وجعلنا في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بهم وجعلنا فيها فجاجا سبلا لعلهم يهتدون.
And we have placed in the earth firm mountains, lest it should quake with them. And we have made therein wide pathways, that they may be rightly guided.
وجعلنا السماء سقفا محفوظا وهم عن آياتها معرضون.
And we have made the heaven a roof, well protected, yet they turn away from its signs.
وهو الذي خلق الليل والنهار والشمس والقمر كل في فلك يسبحون.
And he it is who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon, each gliding along smoothly in its orbit.
وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد أفإن مت فهم الخالدون.
We granted not everlasting life to any mortal before thee. If thou shouldst die, shall they live here forever?
كل نفس ذائقة الموت وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ.
Every soul shall taste of death, and we test you with evil and good by way of trial, and to us shall you be returned.
وَإِذَا رَآكَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِن يَتَّخِذُونَكَ إِلَّا هُزُوًا أَهَذَا الَّذِي يَذْكُرُ آلِهَتَكُمْ وَهُمْ بِذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ.
And when the disbelievers see thee, they only make a jest of thee, and say, "Is this the one who speaks ill of your gods?" Yet it is they themselves who deny all mention of the gracious God.
خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ مِنْ عَجَلٍ سَأُرِيكُمْ آيَاتِي فَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ.
Man is created of haste. I will certainly show you my signs, but ask me not to hasten.
وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ.
And they say, "When will this promise be fulfilled, if you are truthful?"
لو يعلم الذين كفروا حين لا يكفون عن وجوههم النار ولا عن ظهورهم ولا هم ينصرون.
If only the disbelievers knew the time when they will not be able to ward off the fire from their faces, nor from their backs, and they will not be helped.
بل تأتيهم بغتة فتبهتهم فلا يستطيعون ردها ولا هم ينظرون.
Nay, it will come upon them unawares, so that it will utterly confound them, and they will not be able to repel it, nor will they be granted respite.
وَلَقَدِ اسْتُهْزِئَ بِرُسُلٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ فَحَاقَ بِالَّذِينَ سَخِرُوا مِنْهُم مَّا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ.
And messengers have indeed been mocked at before thee, but whereat they mocked encompassed those of them who scoffed.
قُلْ مَن يَكْلَؤُكُم بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ مِنَ الرَّحْمَنِ بَلْ هُمْ عَن ذِكْرِ رَبِّهِم مُّعْرِضُونَ.
Say, who can protect you by night and by day from the gracious God? Yet they turn away from the remembrance of their Lord.
أَمْ لَهُمْ آلِهَةٌ تَمْنَعُهُم مِّن دُونِنَا لا يستطيعون نصر أنفسهم ولا هم منا يصحبون.
Have they any gods that can protect them against us? They cannot help themselves, nor can they be befriended by anyone against us.
بل متعنا هؤلاء وآباءهم حتى طال عليهم العمر أفلا يرون أنا نأتي الأرض ننقصها من أطرافها أفهم الغالبون.
Nay, we provided those and their fathers with the good things of this world, till life grew long for them. Do they not see that we are visiting the land, reducing it from its outlying borders? Can they, even then, be the victors?
قل إنما أنذركم بالوحي ولا يسمع الصم الدعاء إذا ما ينذرون.
Say, I warn you only according to divine revelation, but the deaf cannot hear the call when they are warned.
ولئن مستهم نفحة من عذاب ربك ليقولن يا ويلنا إنا كنا ظالمين.
And if even a breath of thy Lord's punishment touch them, they will surely cry out, Woe to us! We were indeed wrongdoers.
ونضع الموازين القسط ليوم القيامة فلا تظلم نفس شيئا وإن كان مثقال حبة من خردل أتينا بها وكفى بنا حاسبين.
And we shall set up just balances on the day of resurrection, so that no soul will be wronged in the least. And even if it be the weight of a grain of mustard seed, we would bring it forth, and sufficient are we as reckoners.
ولقد آتينا موسى وهارون الفرقان وضياء وذكرا للمتقين.
And we gave Moses and Aaron the discrimination, and a light, and a reminder for the righteous.
الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب وهم من الساعة مشفقون.
Those who fear their Lord in secret, and who dread the hour of judgment.
وهذا ذكر مبارك أنزلناه أفأنتم له منكرون.
And this Qur'an, which we have sent down, is a blessed reminder. Will you then reject it?
وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ.
And before this, we gave Abraham his guidance, and we knew him well.
إِذْ قَالَ لِأَبِيهِ وَقَوْمِهِ مَا هَذِهِ التَّمَاثِيلُ الَّتِي أَنْتُمْ لَهَا عَاكِفُونَ.
When he said to his father and his people, "What are these images to which you are so devoted?"
قالوا وجدنا آباءنا لها عابدين.
They replied, "We found our fathers worshipping them."
قال لقد كنتم أنتم وآباؤكم في ضلال مبين.
He said, "Then you, as well as your fathers, have indeed been in manifest error."
قالوا أجئتنا بالحق أم أنت من اللاعبين.
They said, "Is it really the truth that thou hast brought us, or art thou jesting?"
قال بل ربكم رب السماوات والأرض الذي فطرهن وأنا على ذلكم من الشاهدين.
He replied, "Nay, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, who created them, and I am of those who bear witness to this."
وَتَاللَّهِ لَأَكِيدَنَّ أَصْنَامَكُمْ بَعْدَ أَن تُوَلُّوا مُدْبِرِينَ.
And by Allah, I will certainly plan against your idols after you have gone away and turned your backs.
فَجَعَلَهُمْ جُذَاذًا إِلَّا كَبِيرًا لَهُمْ لَعَلَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ يَرْجِعُونَ.
So he broke them into pieces, all except the chief of them, that they might return to it.
قالوا من فعل هذا بآلهتنا إنه لمن الظالمين.
They said, "Who has done this to our gods? Surely he is a wrongdoer."
قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يقال له إبراهيم.
Some others said, "We heard a young man speak ill of them. He is called Abraham."
قالوا فأتوا به على أعين الناس لعلهم يشهدون.
They said, "Then bring him before the eyes of the people, that they may bear witness against him."
قالوا أأنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم.
Then they said to Abraham, Is it thou who hast done this to our gods, O Abraham?
قال بل فعله كبيرهم هذا فاسألوهم إن كانوا ينطقون.
He replied, Well, someone has surely done this. Here is the chief of them, so ask them if they can speak.
فرجعوا إلى أنفسهم فقالوا إنكم أنتم الظالمون.
Then they turned towards one another and said, You yourselves are surely in the wrong.
ثم نكسوا على رؤوسهم لقد علمت ما هؤلاء ينطقون.
And they were made to hang down their heads for shame, and said to Abraham, Certainly, thou knowest well that these do not speak.
قال فتعبدون من دون الله ما لا ينفعكم شيئا ولا يضركم.
He said, Do you then worship, instead of Allah, that which cannot profit you at all, nor harm you?
أُفٍّ لكم ولما تعبدون من دون الله أفلا تعقلون.
Fie on you, and on that which you worship, instead of Allah. Can you not understand?
قالوا حرقوه وانصروا آلهتكم إن كنتم فاعلين.
They said, Burn him, and help your gods, if at all you mean to do something.
قلنا يا نار كوني بردا وسلاما على إبراهيم.
We said, O fire, be thou a means of coolness and safety for Abraham.
وأرادوا به كيدا فجعلناهم الأخسرين.
And they had intended an evil plan against him, but we made them the worst losers.
ونجيناه ولوطا إلى الأرض التي باركنا فيها للعالمين.
And we delivered him and Lot, and brought them to the land which we had blessed for the peoples.
ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب نافلة وكلا جعلنا صالحين.
And we bestowed upon him Isaac, and a grandson, Jacob, and we made all of them righteous.
وجعلناهم أئمة يهدون بأمرنا وأوحينا إليهم فعل الخيرات وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وكانوا لنا عابدين.
And we made them leaders who guided people by our command. And we sent revelation to them, enjoining the doing of good works, and the observance of prayer, and the giving of alms, and us alone they worshipped.
ولوطا آتيناه حكما وعلما ونجيناه من القرية التي كانت تعمل الخبائث إنهم كانوا قوم سوء فاسقين.
And to Lot we gave wisdom and knowledge, and we saved him from the city which practiced abominations. They were indeed a wicked and rebellious people.
وادخلناه في رحمتنا إنه من الصالحين.
And we admitted him to our mercy. Surely he was one of the righteous.
ونوحا إذ نادى من قبل فاستجبنا له فنجيناه وأهله من الكرب العظيم.
And remember Noah, when he cried to us aforetime, and we heard his prayer, and delivered him and his family from the great distress.
ونصرناه من القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا إنهم كانوا قوم سوء فأغرقناهم أجمعين.
And we helped him against the people who rejected our signs. They were surely a wicked people. So we drowned them all.
وداود وسليمان إذ يحكمان في الحرث إذ نفشت فيه غنم القوم وكنا لحكمهم شاهدين.
And remember David and Solomon when they exercised their respective judgments concerning the crop, when the sheep of certain people strayed therein by night, and we were bearers of witness to their judgment.
ففهمناها سليمان وكلا آتينا حكما وعلما وسخرنا مع داود الجبال يسبحن والطير وكنا فاعلين.
We gave Solomon the right understanding of the matter, and to each of them we gave wisdom and knowledge. And we subjected the mountains and the birds to David, to celebrate God's praises with him. And it was we who did all these things.
وعلمناه صنعة لبوس لكم لتحصنكم من بأسكم فهل أنتم شاكرون.
And we taught him the making of coats of mail for you, that they might protect you from each other's violence in your battles. Will you then be grateful?
ولسليمان الريح عاصفة تجري بأمره إلى الأرض التي باركنا فيها وكنا بكل شيء عالمين.
And we subjected to Solomon the violent wind. It blew at his bidding toward the land which we had blessed, and we have knowledge of all things.
ومن الشياطين من يغوصون له ويعملون عملا دون ذلك وكنا لهم حافظين.
And we subjected to him deep divers who dived for him, and did other works besides that, and it was we who guarded them.
وأيوب إذ نادى ربه أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين.
And called to mind Job when he cried to his Lord, "Distress has afflicted me, and thou art the most merciful of all who show mercy."
فاستجبنا له فكشفنا ما به من ضر آتيناه أهله ومثلهم معهم رحمة من عندنا وذكرى للعابدين.
So we heard his prayer and removed the distress from which he suffered. And we restored to him his family and the like thereof with them, as a mercy from us, and as an admonition to the worshippers.
وإسماعيل وإدريس وذا الكفل كل من الصابرين.
And call to mind Ishmael and Idris and Zulkifl. All were men of patience.
وأدخلناهم في رحمتنا إنهم من الصالحين.
And we admitted them to our mercy. Surely they were of the righteous ones.
وذا النون إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين.
And remember Zul-Nun, when he went away in anger, and he was sure in his mind that we would not cause him distress. And he cried out in the midst of his afflictions, There is no God but thou, holy art thou. I have indeed been of the wrongdoers.
فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين.
So we heard his prayer and delivered him from his distress. And thus do we deliver true believers.
وزكريا إذ نادى ربه رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين.
And remember Zachariah also when he cried to his Lord, My Lord, leave me not alone, and thou art the best of inheritors.
فاستجبنا له ووهبنا له يحيى وأصلحنا له زوجه إنهم كانوا يسارعون في الخيرات ويدعوننا رغبا ورهبا وكانوا لنا خاشعين.
So we heard his prayer and bestowed upon him John and cured his wife of sterility for him. They used to vie with one another in good works, and they called on us in hope and in fear, and they humbled themselves before us.
والتي أحصنت فرجها فنفخنا فيها من روحنا وجعلناها وابنها آية للعالمين.
And remember her who guarded her chastity. So we breathed into her of our word, and we made her and her son a sign for all peoples.
إن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة وأنا ربكم فاعبدون.
Verily, this community of yours is one community, and I am your Lord, so worship me.
وتقطعوا أمرهم بينهم كل إلينا راجعون.
And they split up their affair among themselves, and all will return to us.
فمن يعمل من الصالحات وهو مؤمن فلا كفران لسعيه وإنا له كاتبون.
So whoever does good works and is a believer His endeavor will not be rejected, and we shall surely record it.
وحرام على قرية أهلكناها أنهم لا يرجعون.
And it is an inviolable law for a township which we have destroyed, that they shall not return.
حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج وهم من كل حدب ينسلون.
It shall be so, even when Gog and Magog are let loose, and they shall hasten forth from every height, and from the top of every wave.
واقترب الوعد الحق فإذا هي شاخصة أبصار الذين كفروا يا ويلنا قد كنا في غفلة من هذا بل كنا ظالمين.
And the fulfillment of God's promise draws nigh. Then behold, the eyes of those who disbelieve will fixedly stare, and they will exclaim, Alas for us! We were indeed heedless of this. Nay, we were wrongdoers.
إنكم وما تعبدون من دون الله حسب جهنم أنتم لها واردون.
It will be said to them, Surely, you and that which you worship beside Allah are the fuel of hell. To it you will all come.
لو كان هؤلاء آلهة ما وردوها وكل فيها خالدون.
If these, as you allege, had been gods, they would not have entered it, and all will abide therein.
لهم فيها زفير وهم فيها لا يسمعون.
Therein groaning will be their lot, and they will not hear therein anything else.
إن الذين سبقت لهم منا الحسنى أولئك عنها مبعدون.
But as for those for whom the promise of a good reward has already gone forth from us, these will be removed far from it.
لا يسمعون حسيسها وهم فيما اشتهت أنفسهم خالدون.
They will not hear the slightest sound thereof, and they shall abide in the state which their souls desire.
لا يحزنهم الفزع الأكبر وتتلقاهم الملائكة هذا يومكم الذي كنتم توعدون.
The great terror will not grieve them. And the angels will meet them, saying, "This is your day, which you were promised."
يوم نطوي السماء كطي السجل للكتب كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده وعدا علينا إنا كنا فاعلين.
The day when we shall roll up the heavens, like the rolling up of written scrolls by a scribe. As we began the first creation, so shall we repeat it, a promise binding upon us. We shall certainly fulfill it.
وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ.
And we have already written in the book of David, after the reminder, that my righteous servants shall inherit the land.
إِنَّ فِي هَذَا لَبَلَاغًا لِقَوْمٍ عَابِدِينَ.
Herein surely is a message for a people who worship God.
وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ.
And we have not sent thee but as a mercy for all peoples.
قُلْ إِنَّمَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ أَنَّمَا إِلَٰهُكُمْ إِلَٰهٌ وَاحِدٌ فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ.
Say, surely it has been revealed to me that your God is but one God. Will you then submit?
فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَقُلْ آذَنْتُكُمْ عَلَى سَوَاءٍ وَإِنْ أَدْرِي قَرِيبٌ أَمْ بَعِيدٌ مَا تُوعَدُونَ.
But if they turn back, say, I have warned you all alike, and I know not whether that which you are promised is near or far.
إِنَّهُ يَعْلَمُ الْجَهْرَ مِنَ الْقَوْلِ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا تَكْتُمُونَ.
Verily, he knows what is open in speech, and he knows that which you hide.
وَإِنْ أَدْرِي لَعَلَّهُ فِتْنَةٌ لَكُمْ وَمَتَاعٌ إِلَى حِينٍ.
And I know not, but that it may be a trial for you, and only an enjoyment for a while.
قال رب احكم بالحق وربنا الرحمن المستعان على ما تصفون.
And the Prophet said, My Lord, judge thou with truth. Our Lord is the gracious God, whose help is sought against that which you assert.